Okay, so have you ever thought about getting into ham radio?
Hmm, interesting.
You know, the crackling static, global connections, the thrill of making contact across the airwaves.
Yeah, there's definitely a certain appeal to it.
But maybe the licensing process feels a little daunting right now.
I can see that.
Well, hold on to your hats because there's this device, the TalkPod N58 Plus, with its virtual ham radio app, Linkpoon.
Oh, I've heard of that.
And let me tell you, it is causing a stir in the ham radio community.
Yeah, it's fascinating to see how it's shaking things up. You're right, there's something special about traditional ham radio, that magic of real radio waves.
Right.
And what we're seeing with the N58 Plus and Linkpoon is like a whole new path is opening up for
Right.
people.
For sure.
For people who love the idea of ham radio, that spirit of communication and technical know-how,
Mm-hmm.
even if they're not quite ready to dive into the whole licensing side of things. Yeah.
Exactly, because this isn't just another app on your phone, right? It's a whole dedicated device.
Right.
So you've been looking into the specs. What is it exactly?
So picture this. Okay. A rugged Android phone, but designed specifically for two-way communication.
Okay.
Push-to-talk button dedicated jack for your speaker and microphone. Even a SIM card slot for mobile data.
Wow.
But the real game changer, the software.
That's Linkpoon, right?
Yeah.
From what I've seen, it's got it all special. Virtual frequencies, a map of users, even text messaging.
They really went all out to recreate that authentic ham radio experience in the digital world.
It seems like it.
Yeah. It's about capturing that core functionality and community feel,
Yeah.
So we've got these virtual frequencies, for example, 438.5 is like their default channel.
Okay.
But here's where it gets interesting. You can create your own channels,
Oh, wow.
mimicking the VHF and UHF bands, just like in traditional ham radio.
Cool.
And they've even got a similar naming structure, so you'll feel right at home.
I bet. And this might be a bit of a controversial question, but I have to ask,
Shoot.
why go through all this to replicate the experience virtually?
Hmm.
It sounds fun, don't get me wrong,
Sure.
but is it really real ham radio?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is.
And it's causing a lot of debate in the community, some pretty lively discussions, actually.
Yeah, I bet.
Is it real ham radio? Well, it depends on your definition of real, right?
That's true.
You're not dealing with the same legal regulations or the exact technical complexities of actually transmitting radio waves.
Right.
But, and this is a big but it captures the essence, the
That
clear
clicks.
communication, the radio etiquette, even a little bit of technical jargon. It's like distilling ham radio down to its purest form.
Yeah, I could see that. So it's more about the spirit of ham radio than the technicalities.
Exactly. And I think that's what's getting people excited.
Yeah, this idea of experiencing the heart of ham radio in a whole new way.
Absolutely. It's opening up a whole new world of possibilities. It really is. And you know what's a great example of that?
What's that?
There's this YouTuber who posted a video using the TalkPod N58 Plus.
Okay.
And get this, he actually makes contact with someone.
Wait, really? I thought it was all contained within the app itself.
You'd think so, right? Like it's its own little virtual world.
Yeah.
But no, he connects with another YouTuber who also happens to be a licensed radio operator.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, M0FXB, his call sign is...
So it's not just a simulation then. It's almost like a stepping stone to the real deal.
Exactly. It's lowering that barrier to entry,
Yeah.
demystifying the basics and connecting people globally. And that's what I think is so exciting about all this.
It really makes you think about the potential impact.
Yeah.
Could this be what gets more people into traditional ham radio?
Right. It's like planting a seed.
Yeah.
And speaking of people who are really embracing this technology, we have to talk about Denny J.
Oh, yeah, Denny J, a ham radio enthusiast, if I remember correctly.
That's the one. He's really taken this virtual ham radio idea and run with it.
Yeah, he created his own virtual ham radio network, right?
He did the Digicom Cafe, he calls it.
Catchy.
Yeah.
And he even set up designated virtual frequencies for it.
He did, with a really clever system, too.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
So he uses frequencies like 155.322 for VHF and 455.322 for UHF.
Those numbers seem kind of random. What's the significance?
I knew you'd appreciate this.
Yeah.
So Denny J, being the true ham radio enthusiast that he is, he's incorporated a bit of classic ham radio code into his system.
Okay, how so?
The first digit, that tells you the band 1 for VHF, 4 for UHF.
Nice.
And the rest of the number, well, if you punch it into a phone keypad like you're texting,
Okay.
it spells out K5DCC, his call sign, and the Digicom Cafe.
Wow. That's pretty ingenious.
It is, right? It's
Oh,
like he's found a way to bridge the gap between the old and the new.
totally. Honoring the traditions of ham radio while embracing this new technology.
Exactly. And that's what I find so fascinating about all of this. You've got this fusion of established practices and cutting-edge technology.
Yeah, and it's creating some really interesting possibilities. It
Hmm.
really does make you think. It's like this whole new frontier of ham radio is opening up.
It really is. And it makes you wonder, where do we go from here? What's next for both virtual and traditional ham radio?
Right. Like, are we seeing the beginning of something truly revolutionary here?
It's definitely a pivotal moment, that's for sure. On the one hand, you have the accessibility and global reach of these virtual platforms, like Linkpoon.
Right. Bringing down those barriers.
Exactly. And introducing new people to the core concepts of ham radio.
And on the other hand, we still have the established traditions and technical depth of traditional ham radio.
Exactly. And the question is, how will these two worlds continue to interact? How will they influence each other? Will we see more crossover?
Like with Denny J and the Digicom Cafe?
Exactly. With virtual networks acting as gateways to the wider world of ham radio. It's fascinating to think about.
It really is. And it just goes to show that even in our increasingly digital world, there's still a place for the magic of radio.
Absolutely.
The thrill of connecting with someone across the miles, that sense of community that comes with sharing a passion for communication technology.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
And on that note, I think it's time to turn things over to you, our listener. What do you think about all of this?
Yeah, we want to hear from you.
What do you think about the rise of virtual ham radio? Is it the future of the hobby, a stepping stone to the traditional experience, or something else entirely? Head over to our website and share your thoughts. We're really eager to hear your perspective.